So all of us are super curious about the summer DLC, and there's been a lot of rumblings that it might drop within the next week. So myself, JM Cookie, and Hazard all got together to discuss what we think about that, when we think it could be dropping outside if it doesn't drop this week, and then just a bunch of details about the DLC updates and stuff that's coming to Red Dead Online, Red Dead Redemption 2 as a whole. This is a really fun video. There's a bunch of good information here. I know JM Cookie did a ton of research, and Hazard has been in the Rockstar space for years, so this is gonna be jam-packed full of stuff, and it was a lot of fun to record. These guys are super funny, and I think you guys will love this video. So without further ado, I'm gonna let Cookie take it away.
Okay, so I've taken a look at the GTA 5 online update timeline, basically, and I think it shows us what we can expect from the Red Dead Online timeline. I think that's the best way of us gauging what we can basically expect from Red Dead Online in the future. So Pineapple, I'm going to break some bad news to you now, mate, but September 17th 2013 was when GTA 5 released, and it took a year and a half for it to come out on PC, which I know is going to hurt your feelings a bit.
I'm just gonna go dig a hole and cry. It's okay.
Yeah, it's like, so it's hard to really gauge when these updates are going to drop. So this summer update for me, I don't know when. You just can't expect, like, when I was looking through this timeline, there's so many examples of just where Rockstar have just come out of nowhere and it says unexpectedly Rockstar have just dropped this. Like, for example, when that spring update came out, no one knew that was going to happen. Like, we were expecting 6 weeks, and then suddenly it's like 2 days after that,
I literally made a video that morning that was me talking about how there was no spring update. So yeah,
and out of nowhere it just came.
5 hours late that day for the update, just boom, 4 gigabyte update. Oh, okay.
Yeah, mad.
But you don't have an official prediction for the summer update, right?
I can't imagine, seeing as we've had the spring update relatively recently, I can't imagine it happening at the start of summer. I feel like we're talking late July, August, if I'm honest.
Like back to school season almost.
Yeah.
What do you think, Haz?
I think about the same, keep in mind we have that potential casino whatever DLC that's coming to GTA 5 Online, unannounced by Rockstar as of now, but they're kind of going with that whole event thing where they're showing construction outside and things like that, and there's files that are referencing the casino and different additions and renovations to it. So we know it, and GTA is just overdue for a new DLC anyway, and so I don't know if that's getting in the way, and if I feel like Rockstar is going to release that first, which would mean, July or August time for the summer update. Just as well as just go back to the February 26th update, we got all of the drip-fed content week by week, and then Rockstar basically rehashed it again because that ended April 9th. And in between April 9th and May 14th, when the spring DLC dropped, we got all that content added back in. We got the limited time clothing added back in for a second time. We had Spoils of War added into the featured showdown mode a second time, same with Up in Smoke and Plunder, and I feel like Rockstar is going to do that again with the spring DLC and basically rehash all that content. And so we have to wait, I would say, at least a month, from now, because we just had the last update June 11th, and so from June 11th to maybe July, 9th, July 16th would be the absolute earliest, I would imagine. But even then, I feel like that's early, because that would be the time I would expect the GTA DLC to drop. So just depends on which comes first.
I think they seem to flip between organized sort of a structure of updates, because when I'm looking at this timeline that I looked into earlier, it's like every month from about sort of November, December 2013, every single month up until like May, there was a regular update sort of 4 weeks after the last one. So that's quite clearly a structure that they've got going on there. But then prior to this big update, us coming out of the beta, there wasn't really didn't seem like there was any real structure to the way they did things. I don't know what you guys think about that.
Yeah, it just kind of felt like they were throwing stuff at the wall during beta. Like, I felt like, even if you go back to when I first, started talking about the beta 3 or 4 days into it being a thing, I was like, I feel like they've got a bunch of features that they just haven't dropped yet. And then I kind of felt that way throughout the entirety of the beta. And then I think, I could be wrong, but February 26th update was still beta, right? And that's when we got the first set of defensive mode stuff. All right, but it wasn't defensive mode. It was the first promise of defensive mode, right?
Yeah. We talked about it first.
Yeah, so I felt like they were they knew what they were going to bring to the game, but they didn't have it all set out yet. And then now it kind of feels like they're alternating between structured release and then rehash mode, structure release, rehash mode, structure release. Like, so I think I've seen a bunch of big YouTubers talking about how this DLC is supposed to come out like at the end of next week. That's why I did this update hype week for the channel here, or my audience. But you know, I want to be as hyped about it as possible, but at the same time, the more, especially talking with, you know, you two, it just seems more apparent that it's going to be a minute before this actually comes out.
Absolutely. I think I would bet, you know, like 99.9% sure it's not going to be coming next week or the week after, which stinks. I mean, I would love for it to. I think all of us would, but it would just be kind of a little bit foolish to think it would come that soon, considering also the next Tuesday is June 18th. That still isn't even summer in North America yet. Summer is what, June 23rd, I think, Sunday. It's going to be a minute.
Yeah,
but
that'd be
also
a pre-summer DLC. I think it's just because it's E3 season. Everyone's really antsy for content.
Mm-hmm. That too.
So what do you guys think? Do you think that this is the biggest update? Do you think this is bigger than us coming out of beta, this next one?
Yeah. I mean, personally.
Yeah.
For real?
Yeah. I mean,
content-wise.
I think.
Oh, sorry.
No, it's fine. If you want to go, you can.
No, go for it. I didn't know you were going to continue.
Okay. Look at us all being gentlemen. It's the old West in us. So I think personally, it's going to be, because of the fact that it's going to add three different play styles, but you're going to be able to add or progress through them at the same time or individually. It's going to make all of the sudden, quote unquote, overnight, provided they don't drop the bounty hunter one week and the freaking trader the next week and then the collector the next week. They might do that, but I really hope that they don't, because then overnight it's going to be so many more playable options sprung up.
I didn't even think about that. That is so Rockstar. That would be so Rockstar to just stagger every single character across multiple months or weeks.
I hate to be the one that said that too, but it seems like what they would do. But I think because of the way that they've been advertising it, if you go back to the spring DLC, they said, offensive, defensive was coming, hostility was coming, and then those all came the same day. So it wasn't it wasn't as staggered as we would have expected, maybe clothes and weapons and stuff like that to be. But at the same time, it's these are major features, and they might take their time releasing them. But Hazard, I think you're more in tune with the way Rockstar releases stuff, so how does that hit your ear?
I mean, that's interesting you brought it up. I didn't even think about them staggering the release of Bounty Hunter, Trader, Collector. I would have thought that just like the offensive and defensive playing styles, they drop all three that first day of the major DLC update, and whatever the contents of your role progression is, if there's levels, level 1, 2, 3, 4, however they decide to do it, if it's broken up by missions or however, I feel like that content may be drip fed as opposed to the actual roles themselves, because that would be kind of weird. The guy who wants to be the collector having to wait 3 weeks, and the bounty hunter gets the jump on his DLC role. But if they're all divided equally, if they all have three sectors of progression, maybe those are the pieces that are going to be drip fed or have a staggered release or something.
So I don't know, think maybe you'll get 10 or 30% into each one, but then you'll be okay, I'm out of stuff to do until this next cycle hits.
Probably. I mean, I could see that's a way of Rockstar trying to cheese the system in a way and get some extra time out of their updates, because we all rip through content really fast. Especially the YouTubers.
I feel like now that you've said it, Pineapple, I feel like that's just going to be the way they're going to do it. I really do. Well, and it's pissed me off, to be honest, because that's what they're going to do.
Bounty Hunter in July,
it feels like that's
Trader in August, Collector in September.
Man, that would.
It just wouldn't surprise me at all.
Oh,
it would annoy me a lot,
because summer's 3 months long, right? So what if they did one for each month?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna make my peace with this. No, I'm gonna make my peace with this now. That's what's gonna happen in my mind, and then anything better than that, that's cool. That's cool. I'm happy.
I mean, I think that's the only problem with Red Dead Online at this point, right? Is that we've all kind of gotten to a point where we are expecting the things that they promise us, but we're also expecting it in the worst way.
Yeah.
And I really I mean, I've been very vocal about this. I know Hazard has too. Cook, you cover different facets of stuff on your channel, so I don't know if maybe your audience has heard this specifically, but it's I feel like Red Dead Online is in a good place where it's moving forward at a great pace. Or I mean, in a great direction, I should say, but the pace could be improved upon, obviously. But I think the only real problem is that when we ask the person for directions, they're like, "We're not telling you." They just keep So I think that's the only thing is we still have zero communication with Rockstar, and I feel like Rockstar's even less likely to kind of double down on that now that they did that live stream and they got griefed, and then they the comments about the devs where they were making fun of the people who want John's original hair. There was I don't know if you guys saw that or not, but there was a Twitch clip.
I didn't see that. I didn't see them getting briefed either. That's cool.
Every user that was add John's hair, they banned him from the channel because two of my mods were banned from Rockstar's Twitch stream.
Whoa.
Is that what your mods are like? Your mods
Yeah, I was
go
like,
on there and
"Test it
say,
out,"
we
and
want
they
John's
did,
hair.
and they were just removed from the chat.
I know to take it back to, I know maybe I shouldn't keep taking it back to GTA 5, but I just feel like this gives us a really good idea of the sort of structure that Rockstar might take with Red Dead Online. Initially, when they released, they mentioned heists pretty early on. I don't know if you guys played GTA 5 much, but they mentioned that quite early on. And as I've said, GTA 5 released on the 17th of September 2013, and the heists didn't get to GTA 5 until March the 10th, 2015.
Holy.
So that's a long time. Yeah.
Whoa. I didn't
and
know that.
They were talking about them for a long time, so we had to wait a long time for that. So that's what I mean. Like, you just never know. You never know what they're going to do.
Were the heists good though? Like I don't have much experience with GTA.
There was a
Online.
lot of structural problems to it. Like, the content was fun. There were, I think, 4 at launch, right? And then the Doomsday heist that came out in the past couple years. But there was like 4 heists at launch with a bunch of different stages for preparing for it, and then you get the big payoff at the end with some small ones in between, I think. It was just, there were some complaints on bugs and glitches. Some people were like cheesing levels, but then also the way that they forced you to play didn't bode over well with players. Like, needing to play with 4 people, matchmaking wouldn't work because people didn't want to do the setup ones because they didn't want to play for 3 hours until they get the payoff, so you couldn't really matchmake with randoms. You know, you needed your group of 4 friends.
That was the big problem, was that random 4th player. Because if that 4th player wasn't engaged with a mission, and let's say they were just stood back at spawn, they would ruin the whole thing, and you would have just wasted all that time.
Yeah,
for sure.
Okay, so from what I'm hearing, they took a long ass time on it, and then it wasn't all that when it came out, but it had its moments.
If you had your group, it was great.
Okay.
And you could do that as a way to make money and things like that. But if you were a solo player, it was a nightmare to kind of take advantage of.
So I think what I'm trying to say from the sort of looking back in the history of how Rockstar have done things, I'm guessing this summer update will come in sort of late July, August, but the bottom line is I have no idea. To be honest, I've got no clue. That's just a really rough guess.
And that's after doing a lot of research. I want everybody to know, like Cook has done a lot of research on all this, and then has no clue still. Like, Cook is the man for like stats and like you put a big old veiny spreadsheet in all your videos, pretty much.
Oh yeah, mate. Yeah, I whip that big boy out as much as I can. That big old spreadsheet, mate. Just flop it down on the table.
So, like, when Cook says he's got no idea, and I mean, I obviously, like, we've been sitting here talking about it and, you know, guessing the whole time, but that means something. Like, that's when JM Cookie is like, yo, I did research and I don't even know. Like, so
I appreciate that.
Yeah, man, of course. But I think that just goes to show how irregular, or how, you know, at least irregular the communication is between Rockstar and the player base. Like, for like in Call of Duty, you know when map packs are coming out, you know, like,
yeah.
So it's, you know, at a certain point, like even if I remember correctly, when I played World War II, you would know when the events would change. You just didn't know what the new event was going to be, right?
Yeah,
so,
you knew exactly what was going on with.
Yeah.
Or, well, you knew the schedule of content, but not necessarily the details of it.
Yeah, because that would keep people in the know, but like let you have the shock factor when you release the thing. But Rockstar just doesn't operate that way.
Call me stupid, but I still feel I still have a little bit of trust left there for Rockstar. So I do believe it's going to be in summer. It's just when that is.
Yeah,
it's gonna be summer. I mean, they pulled it through with the spring update. Like,
yeah.
I mean, the first 2 weeks, like, total gas, and then they've lost a little bit of steam recently. But I'm concerned. I just don't want them going to disappear for another 3 months and then drop the update. Or now 2 months, since it's been a month since the spring DLC. But, you know, just like disappear, go dark, and we're all sitting here again like oh, what do we do now?
Yeah, I have the most faith, and I said this in a video one time. People got really mad at me because CD Projekt Red exists, but I have the most faith in Rockstar out of pretty much any developer. Like, Rockstar has been consistently giving games that are absurdly high quality for at least a decade. They've been making games for a lot longer than that, but like their games have been knocking out of the park for the last 10 years, right? I mean, even table tennis
I'd even stretch that to like 15.
Yeah, so
15 years
exactly.
of
So like
strong content.
Yeah, people, you know, they're amazing. So I have more faith than I would argue I do in most, like, companies in general. In Rockstar's dev team specifically, Rockstar's PR team is terrible. And so, yeah, the development people at Rockstar, Sam and Sam and Dan are really, really good writers. They have great story direction. All their content is almost always, like, on the most crazy level as far as content. The only person I really did not like the way she was written is Jessica Leclerc. Other than that, their stuff is just phenomenal. So it's like, you know, when they actually do sit down and put something out on a development creative level, those things are always stellar. To me, at least.
Is that the same? Is that the same guys though that do the online as it is that do the story
mode? So Sam and Dan Hauser both write for an EP for the main game, all the main games, and all of the story mode for online. But I think they only physically like write every word pretty much of the main story. At least as far as I know from the interviews and stuff that I've watched, they're super involved in the main story, and then they don't let anything get published in the online without overseeing it. So for example, when you start Red Dead Online and you like load up a new character, at the end, right when you pick up your guns, the only gameplay moment that has text on it that's not like the actual game is written by Sam and Dan Hauser. Right when you pick up your guns, when Horley saves you.
Okay, right, yeah.
So yeah, they are very heavily involved, and I think when they do, and I know it's been a long rant about Rockstar's creative team, but whenever they get involved, it's phenomenal. So I think the actual content for the update is going to be great, but I hate the way that we learn about it, man.
Rockstar does their own thing. I mean, for better or for worse, their games are stellar quality. I mean, they're always, you know, go above and beyond in terms of development and things like that. And then when it comes to the norms of video games and how players and fans expect new updates to come and how new content is fed to the game, you can't put Rockstar in a box. Other developers, Epic Games with Fortnite or Activision with Call of Duty, you can kind of, speculate, like educated speculation on when updates are going to come, how they're going to be, when to expect them, etc. With Rockstar, it's like you expect them to go left, they go right. You want them to go right, they go left. And
yep.
That's how they work.
Yeah, it is exactly what they do. And that's why I think, I know GTA just got one, but I think that's why it's cool that Rockstar added the feedback section, and then they didn't completely remove it when we came out of beta. Like, it's not the same as it was before. It's not nearly as robust as far as options to complain about. But, you know, comparatively to GTA, like, they had GTA up for years with no dialogue. Like, zero. So, yeah, I don't know. I think it's cool.
So essentially what we're saying through all this is we know it's going to be good. We know it's going to be in the summer, but we don't know when.
Yeah.
Yep. That's been for anyone wondering, I mean, this video has really been about, because I've seen on my channel, I'm sure you guys can attest to this too, I've gotten a lot of comments of people asking when the update's coming, and also that they've heard it's coming next week, and that's, I guess, kind of the moral of the story is I definitely wouldn't expect it in the next, like, 5 days. That's definitely not going to happen.
Yeah, it seems super unlikely to me. I don't know where these people are getting this information either. Like, I've seen some bigger YouTubers, I'm not going to say anybody's names, but I've just seen some people talking about it, like, oh, it's kind of, and I'm like, what? Where did you, what?
Like, it's around the corner, right?
Yeah, it's tomorrow. And I'm like, okay. Like, I mean, I want to talk about the bounty hunter, trader, and collector stuff because that is, I think it's going to be really interesting as we've kind of laid out here. But I mean, I'm still like, I don't think it's coming on Tuesday, guys. Like, I think it's
I'd
just
love it to. It'd be amazing if it would
down.
come on
like,
Tuesday.
I am more. My body is ready, but like, I just don't know that it's going to be that way. That just doesn't seem like Rockstar. I feel like we've got a month of gunk to get through before, but also that is based off what happened in the beta. So maybe they've got a different content release schedule for post beta. I don't know. I don't know what the player numbers are like. I think that's all based on player numbers. So,
yeah, they could switch it up.
Yeah.
All I know is next Tuesday, June 18th, still not summer in the US.
Yeah, so we shouldn't even expect it then anyway, by that logic. So, all right, well, I think this has been a pretty solid video. I wanted to say, if anybody's still here from my channel, please go subscribe to JM Cookie. He is a masterful producer of content. His videos literally are some of the best received videos that I've seen on the internet, and especially in the Red Dead space. So if you guys have been looking for a new Red Dead channel to give you guys like some top quality information, Homeboy does a lot of research for all of his videos, so I would highly recommend checking him out. Go drop a comment on there that says veiny spreadsheet. And he will know that we sent him.
That is an amazing endorsement, mate. That you just gave me little flutters in the trouser region there, mate. That was some kind words. I'm turned on right now.
I'm glad I could give you a semi.
Same goes for the Hazard Gang. If you guys are still watching, again, definitely go check out JM Cookie. He's also going to be linked on my channel now as well over on the side tab, but I'm going to have his channel linked down in the description and annotation in the video. Also go subscribe to Pineapple as well. Two awesome dudes, and this
thanks,
has been
man.
a fantastic, healthy conversation.
Yeah, if
Yeah,
actually,
appreciate your time, guys.
I gotta plug Hazard too. If any of my channel doesn't know who you are, I feel like we've collabed enough that people know. But dude, if you guys haven't seen Hazard, this dude gets amazing gameplay. So Cookie information, Hazard is everything I said about Cookie, but for freaking epic gameplay inside of Red Dead Online. This guy kills lobbies. He's always got good videos up about the best ability cards and what weapons to use. So go check him out to stay up to date and to stay MVP. All right, guys, thanks for watching this video. Please let me know in the comment section down below what you want us to talk about next. This, like I said, was one of the best videos I've felt like. This is one of the most fun times I've had recording a video, at least. It was really fun to do with these guys, and we're definitely going to do more, so that is going to be where I call this video quits. So thank you guys for tuning in. I hope you guys did enjoy it. Like I said, please let me know down below what you want to see. Drop it a like if you really enjoyed it, and please go subscribe to JM Cookie and Hazard. They are the bomb. Anyway, I'll see you guys very soon with a brand new Red Dead Online video. Peace.